This is a gun guide for the Farquhar-Hill. The Farquhar-Hill is a self-loading rifle available for medic class and comes in two variants, a storm and an optical. But is it worth using? Let's find out. First, let's look at the damage model, and here we can see that the Farquhar-Hill is a 3-hit kill up close, dropping off to a 4-hit kill at range. The damage values here are entirely standard for the class, with the only notable thing being it does enough damage to the head at long range to be a 2-hit kill. This doesn't happen very often, but it is nice to get a near instant kill on an enemy at long range. Taking a look at the ranges, we can see the Farquhar-Hill has the standard SLR drop-off point of 54 meters, here compared to the Howl. In fact, the Howl shares the same caliber of bullet as the Farquhar-Hill, meaning the damage is identical at all ranges, as is the muzzle velocity and drag. Comparing them to the other Big Mag SLRs, we can see that they fit in the middle of the pack, with worse damage than the 3-hit kill Selbstlader M1916, but much better damage than the M1907, killing in one fewer bullet at all ranges beyond 38 meters. Moving on to rate of fire, we can see the Farquhar-Hill has below average performance, firing at just 257 rounds a minute, giving it somewhat underwhelming performance within its 3-hit kill range, and poor performance beyond that. This, in addition to the average damage model, makes it one of the slowest killing guns in its class. Bullet velocity is quite good however, clocking in at 740 meters a second, meaning you shouldn't have any issues hitting moving targets at range. Moving to ammo capacity, and here we can see the primary reason to use this gun. The huge 19-round magazine will mean you have enough ammo to take on an entire squad, and still have rounds to spare. The reload is fairly fast too, with a tactical reload of 3 seconds and an empty reload time of 3.2 seconds. In combination with the big magazine, this means you'll have very little downtime when using this gun, which will more than make up for the poor time to kill. The Hipfire is quite weak with a base moving spread of 3 degrees, which can be compared to the M1907's at 2.5 degrees. Nothing changes too much when we look at spread accumulation either, with both variants of the Farquhar-Hill gaining 0.1 degrees of spread per shot. This really isn't a gun you want to be hip-firing outside of point-blank engagements. In fact, even if you do get lucky and hit all your shots, you'll still lose to most other SLRs, as well as every SMG and LMG in the game. Recoil is where the two variants begin to diverge, with the optical having 0.9 degrees of vertical and 0.6 degrees of horizontal recoil. In contrast, the Storm gets significantly less recoil, having only 0.54 degrees of vertical and 0.36 degrees of horizontal. In practice, however, this isn't a huge advantage for the Storm since, thanks to the low rate of fire, recoil isn't a huge concern for the optical variant anyway. While having less recoil is always nice, it's absolutely not worth giving up the advantages of an optical variant to cut down on what is already quite low horizontal recoil. Before looking at aimed accuracy, we should first take a look at the sights, and it's all very standard with the Storm variant having the choice between regular iron sights and buckhorn sights, while the optical has a lens sight with all the standard options available. As always, the iron sight variants have faster aim down sight time, making them better suited for reactive gameplay, although due to the long time to kill, the Farquhar-Hill isn't very well suited for aggressive gameplay no matter which sights you use. Finally, we're going to take a look at aim down sight spread, and with 0.15 degrees of base spread, the Storm fares significantly worse than the optical, which only has 0.112 degrees. This might not seem a big deal, but the additional spread will make using the Storm at longer ranges feel somewhat inconsistent. Comparing the spread of the optical to the joint best-in-class Howl Sniper, we can see that there really isn't much of a difference, meaning you can expect to hit a large amount of shots at long range if you pick the optical. Looking at spread accumulation, we can see that the Storm again fares poorly, being unable to spam shots accurately much beyond 50 meters due to spread alone. In comparison, the optical gains far less spread per shot, making it ideal for spamming at mid-range and even beyond. Interestingly, the optical outperforms the Howl Sniper here after a first shot thanks to lower spread increase. In combination with the big magazine, the low spread makes the Farquhar-Hill optical one of the best guns in the whole game for spamming. Once we account for a weapon's spread decrease, we can calculate the highest rate of fire at which it can maintain its base spread, and thanks to the already low base rate of fire, neither Farquhar-Hill variant performs particularly well here. However, thanks to its lower spread increase per shot, the optical once again beats the Storm with an optimal rate of fire of 240 rounds a minute, while maintaining its base spread, compared to 225 for the Storm. To conclude, the Farquhar-Hill is below average in terms of time to kill, but makes up for that by having near constant uptime thanks to its large magazine and relatively quick reload. However, I cannot recommend the Storm variant of this gun. Beyond faster aim down sight time, it offers nothing meaningful that the optical variant can't already do. Really, this is one of the most pointless variants of any gun in the game. If you want to use a gun like this with iron sights, check out the Howell Factory, which has lower horizontal recoil than the Farquhar-Hill optical, the same optimal rate of fire, as well as a bipod. For a big mag iron sight SLR, I'd also have to recommend the M1907 Factory, which offers a higher rate of fire at 300 rounds a minute in exchange for a worse damage model at range. On the other hand, the Farquhar-Hill optical is one of the best guns in the whole game, and is absolutely tailor-made for killing large groups of players. In fact, it's so good at what it does that it's difficult to recommend an alternative to use instead. You might want to take a look at the Howell Sniper for example, which offers slightly better long-range performance as well as a bipod in exchange for worse mid-range performance and less spammability. While it's a good gun, I don't think this trade-off is quite worth it considering the nature of these guns. You should absolutely be using the Farquhar-Hill optical. Thanks for watching this gun guide. If you want to see more of me, check out twitch.tv/ShrikeAbyss, where I'm live every day. And don't forget to subscribe to see new gun guides every week.